And welcome to Makers.dev episode number, I think we're on 88. Chris, where are we?
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Look at us. This is I don't know where to put there. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Chris, I'm in your house.
Yeah, you're in my house.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going really well. Had a great time today. We went to like a old Renaissance village from 1863 or something.
Yeah.
Got to see a blacksmith and a person weaving textiles and or spinning thread and a woodworker who had a drill that was a manual drill. That was so cool. He was doing like joinery, very similar to the joinery that I just did for the wedding for the arch. And he was doing it like with the chisel like I was doing, but he was doing it way better. And he had drilled a hole in before, but it's this thing from, the 1800s. So I was asking how he drilled the hole, and he pulls out this thing and it's like a hand drill that he drills through it. Really, really cool. Oh, we flew up also in a helium balloon.
Yeah.
That was a ton of fun.
400 feet in the air. I had never done that one before. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. If you're looking for a good time and you're in Indiana, come stop by Chris's house. He's got a huge basement. I'll just volunteering your house up to anyone who listens to the podcast. It's a good time.
Awesome. Yeah. Come to Indianapolis.
Yeah. We've been chatting a bunch in person, so I feel like I cheated, like got an update from you. But I guess we can talk about updates of stuff. How's your competition going? You had one more problem left the last time we left it on the podcast.
Yep.
Have you cracked it? Are you in the top 10 or the top number one spot?
No, yes, no. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't cracked it, but neither has anyone else. So I'm still in number 4, which means I get money if no one solves it. But no one, so no one has solved it with 10 days left. The organizers have verified that it is solvable. They had one of their organizers actually solve it. So it is solvable, but very difficult, and no one else has done it. So yeah, we'll see. But if no one does, then I get $5,000. So that's cool.
How much longer do we have in the competition before you, for sure, secure your number 4 place?
Yeah, I think it's 10 days. So like
10
a
days.
week and a half. Yep.
Okay. Probably going to ride it out. I think last time we talked about that they may be giving a hint, and you might revisit it if they give a hint.
Yeah, I think they're not going to give a hint, they decided. And so I have basically, here's my stack of papers.
Wow.
You haven't seen this. This is half a ream of papers about poisoning neural networks. I can't figure it out, even after reading all of those papers. So, yeah. A lot of the problem is it's kind of vague. Like, poisoning a neural network can mean, like, 5 or 6 different things, and they don't say which one it is, really. So, like, I have to try 5 or 6 different types of, like, whole different types of experiments. And I've done that, and nothing has worked. So, yeah.
Okay. And I think you said that someone who you thought for sure was going to get it publicly posted that they are giving up also.
Yeah, there's a few people who I know are pretty good who are basically like, this is really hard. And so, and one of them was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to work on it anymore. And so people who I thought would get it are stopping to work on it, which, means there's no easy answer for sure anyway. So.
Okay. And I think you said you also have 2 places to slide, like the top 6 get prizes.
It's a top 5, which means... so one person, so any of the 4 people above me can solve it, that's fine. And one other person can solve it.
Okay.
But then if 2 people who are below me currently solve it,
yep,
then I drop out of the top 5.
Okay. And I would imagine the top 4 above you are probably the most likely to solve it.
I would expect so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, sounds like you can do other stuff then.
I'm thinking so.
Just collect your check at the end of the 10 days.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Hopefully. We'll see.
That's exciting. And this doesn't count for Grandmaster,
right?
But it does count for 5K, which is fun.
Yep.
Neat. Cool. What else are you working on?
I don't.
You're done with COVID? You're done with...
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more COVID. AcornChat I still haven't done the thing that we talked about last time.
Okay.
Which is...
I would love to put you on AcornChat because like this is such an exciting, like, how long were we building up to this of like, it's on the Slack App Store.
I know.
People can buy it. People can buy it. Your sales funnel works at least a little bit because there is a paying customer. It seems like motivation for this is wavering. Is this like, how are you feeling about this project overall? What do you want to just sort of set this aside and focus on something else? Are you wanting to push it forward? How are you feeling?
I don't know. It's been a few months since I sort of really worked on it, which means I expect that soon motivation will come back really strong for it. That's usually what happens. Okay. My motivation usually goes in a few months cycles. So I expect that soon I will want to do another month or two of really heavy work on it.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm waiting for. I could probably push myself in that direction. But yeah, I'm sort of waiting for motivation to return.
Yeah, I feel that. I go through that cyclically with Fileinbox, and it's so frustrating. Like right after going to MicroConf, I'll be like, all right, yeah, here we go. We're going to do this new marketing technique, and it's going to be great. And then I'll get, a couple weeks into it and then be like, this hasn't worked immediately.
Right.
And so I'm bored and I want to work on something else. And then it'll be a couple month lag before I come back to it. And I feel like recently I've done a really good job of just consistently pulling myself back to it. Like, even if it doesn't feel like the thing I want to work on right then in the moment, having the habits in place of like, all right, this is the main thing that I'm working on during co-working. I have my plan of like the next 10 things that I could be working on Fileinbox. And inevitably pulling myself back, even when I don't feel like it, I like get back in the groove, and then it starts feeling really good again. It sounds like being pulled back to it is something that you would like to do, but you're just waiting on the motivation of like the inspiration to do it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm in a really lucky position that I can wait and like focus on a lot of the other AI stuff, which my master's program started up again. So I'm in an AI class again. So I'm doing that a little bit, although so far it's been pretty easy. But I think it'll probably get more complicated when it's case studies in machine learning. So when we get into the actual case studies, I think it'll be a little harder, but, so I'm working on that a little bit. Yeah. Killing my lawn. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
It's just not really like that took 2 hours a week ago, and I'm still talking about it. But
I got to see your deck also that you built. It's a beautiful deck. It's so nice with like these composite boards that are never going to rot. So cool. Also, just being in this office, like seeing, for anyone watching this on video, and if you're listening on audio, we have video episodes of the podcast too. I get to see the view that I never got to see. It was so cool seeing your house for the first time, walking around last night, and like, oh yeah, I've spent so much time in this room, but I've never physically been in this room. It's really, really cool. And I got to meet your wife and your daughter, and oh my gosh, it's such a happy family, and I love this. Getting back on track. The AcornChat. I want to push a little bit on like the motivation part of it, of like, can we find a way to just do a little bit of it every day that might be jump starting the motivation, that like you're just pushing forward a little bit, and then you might remember like, oh, there was this really cool project I wanted to push forward.
Yeah, I think so. That's where co-working really helps. We haven't done it since you got married and you went on a road trip of Canada and the US, which we can talk about. And so I think we're planning to start that next week again. So I think that will help. So if I focus on AcornChat during that, I think it'll help. And I have the next couple things to do. Like I think I can get someone else to pay me money if I just put in the switch in the app that makes them pay me money. So like I should be pretty motivated. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. Like I'm in a really similar position with Fileinbox. Not doing the co-working has just completely stalled it. And like,
traveling.
Yeah.
Getting married.
Yeah. Gallivanting across Canada and the US. Okay. That's reasonable. The AI class, we talked a little bit about it off camera. Tell me about that. It sounds like it's easier than you expected.
Yeah, at least at the beginning. I think at the beginning is like ramping you up if you have even no knowledge of it. So it's like how to install like NumPy and Pandas and make sure your environment is set up. And so far that's like been super easy. But it is about case studies. So I think there's 8 or 9 case studies, which are going to be papers, like a full-on academic paper that I think we're going to have to read and analyze in some way. So, and like analyze the method that they used to do the thing. And it's taught by someone who's not a CS professor. He's from, what's the name of the department? It's like urban planning and global spatial stuff. So like architecture and urban planning kind of stuff. And so it's actually really interesting. A lot of the case studies are like how traffic gets routed in cities and how buildings, how they use machine learning to develop building stuff. And so not all of them, but about half of them are stuff which I've never really done. I've done the GPS stuff a little bit, but not the other stuff. So it should be pretty interesting, like different topics.
In planning buildings?
I think it's like building density or something like that. Yeah, like housing density.
Okay. Like given this geographic area and the geographic qualities, here's how you might have population density. I'm having trouble thinking.
I don't know. I will tell you. Yeah, when I get there.
Okay.
Something about housing planning and density. Something. Yeah.
Okay.
Was one of the papers.
I'm curious about that. Okay. Cool. Sounds pretty chill. Which is nice that it'll open up more bandwidth, I think, to get those last 2 golds in Kaggle.
Yep.
And what I would love to see is some marketing on AcornChat.
I know.
Okay, cool.
I forgot. I didn't say. So I told my wife I got my first customer. She's like, great. How much is that? $29 a month. Okay. And she's like, maybe you should do some marketing. And I was like, okay. She's like, take half of that and buy some ads.
Why aren't we just listening to Brittany? Why do we do co-working? Just do what your wife says.
I know.
Can she tell me the same thing? Because that's exactly.
So I should probably listen to both of you.
Perfect. Yeah, I need to be doing the same thing for Fileinbox. But yeah, Sarah and I have been traveling all over. Visited a friend in Cleveland 2 nights ago, and then yesterday morning, and then drove or what we were driven. We piloted the car to Indiana. I can't stop talking about this. The comma is just amazing. I want to evangelize this as much as possible. Like I think it's $1,800. You can install it in your car in like 10 minutes. You just plug it into the serial port in the bottom. And for any car built after about 2018, it has to have adaptive cruise control and keep assist. You plug it into, you man in the middle attack the camera that is built into the car. And then it makes the self-driving abilities of the car 2 to 3 times as good. So it's driven on this road trip from Texas up to Toronto and then back down to Texas. I think I've only driven like maybe 6 hours of what's probably going to be a 60-hour drive.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. And most of that driving is just little. It's anytime you're on the highway that you would be using cruise control, you just don't have to do anything. So yeah, small tangent. The comma is awesome if you do any sort of driving. Like it's great. Also, just amazing to be inside of a machine learning thing. Like it's proof that I'm trusting my life to this science that works. Like it's proof. The stuff is real, and it's magical, and it can recognize a frame of an image and tell you how to drive your car. Really, really cool. Anyway, so yeah, we're on this super long road trip, and I've just been squeezing work in when I can. I really over the last month gotten like 2 days of work in, and it just is not enough. I'm itching to get back. And very excited. But one of the things that's happening is I got to onboard customer number 2 to Fileinbox. I think I talked about that last week. And I've just been going back and forth with him. I'm kind of embarrassed that it's in the state that it's in, showing it to him, because he's found these errors that like I should have caught. Things like, it was broken in Firefox. And I should have been testing that, but I just didn't think about it. Or like the file transfer. For this particular customer, the reason I'm enticing him over is like, hey, the file uploads are going to be way more reliable. But twice now when he's tested it, the file uploads have not gone through. And it's because of these stupid things of like, I just didn't test it enough with like big enough files. And so that feels embarrassing. But he's sticking with me so far. And like, I've been responsive to his emails, like fixing the issues he says the same day that he brings them up. But it does have me looking for something like a full stack testing framework. Like I want to be able to deploy the entire application to a staging environment where everything is exactly the same. It's just a separate Firebase database. And then have some sort of I think Cypress is a full stack or integration testing.
Integration.
I want it to go through multiple browsers, like make sure you can sign up for an account, make sure you can pay me money, make sure you can create a page and upload a file, and then it gets all the way to Dropbox. And if I can get like those 3 flows done in an automated way where it doesn't actually deploy unless those 3 things have passed, that's just going to be a huge category of headaches that I don't have to think about anymore. That would have reduced the back and forth with this customer number 2. So I want to get something like that in place. Have you used Cypress?
I haven't. I did a tutorial for it, and I haven't done integration testing for a while. I think Cypress uses Chromium though on the back end, so I think it's Chrome only.
Oh, so Firefox. Okay.
Yeah, I think with Selenium you can test anything, but Selenium can get sort of finicky because it's actually using the UI interface, as far as I know.
Okay.
This might be bad information. There exist things that you can test with Firefox and Opera and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Is Opera even a thing anymore? Safari, I guess, is the other one.
Yeah. I used to really like Opera. Yeah. That was cool for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just Google it. They exist.
Okay. Something I'm going to need to test, and I haven't dug into the tools enough to know if this is possible, but I need to test, like, did the file get to Dropbox? And is it named the correct thing? And I don't know if I can do that. It seems like I should be able to because it's all in a browser, right?
Yeah.
So just like visit this other URL in Dropbox and make sure that the thing is there. But
You could you code up a simple app which just checks Dropbox, and then if it doesn't work, it might be that app also.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's a simple thing to check.
yeah, I could just have a debug page of Fileinbox that yeah, that'd be a really good way to do it. I could also test maybe just like so it's all Firebase documents being created and edited that are running this backend flow, and so I can see in the Firebase document if Dropbox told me the file went through.
Okay.
So maybe that's enough.
It might be, yeah.
If I just look at, I think I could start there. And then that's
can it error even after it told you it went through? I hope not, but maybe.
Yes, but I think the new way that I'm implementing it fixes that. That Dropbox had like two different ways to send them files. One of them was you send them you send them one HTTP request that's like, hey, can you please add the file at this URL to this user's Dropbox, and here's the auth tokens and whatever. And then Dropbox replies with, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Here's the token that you can use to check on this job. And that's what Fileinbox is currently using in the Rails app. And I have had so much trouble with that because if you try to do too many files at once, some of them go through and some of them don't. And some of them respond that they errored, but they didn't actually. And so I keep trying to send the same file and it keeps telling me it errored, but it didn't actually. And so the person gets like 20 copies of the same file. It's really frustrating. So the new way is I'm not going to rely on their servers. I'm going to upload it directly, and they have a way for me to do that. And I'm going to do it in a batch. And they say that the batch is the better way to upload a whole bunch of files because they have some sort of a global lock on sending people files. And so that's why it's erroring if you're trying to send them multiple things. So by doing it in a batch, you only have to get the lock one time. And so it all happens all at once. So like from the perspective of how to use Dropbox's API, I'm thinking this should be way more reliable and work a lot better. Yeah. So all that to say, your original question was, could Dropbox report to me that it went through and it didn't actually? They have been doing that with the save file URL endpoint that I'm currently using with Rails. And I don't think they would be doing that with the new way that I'm doing it. But if I just smell a hint of that, like there was ever a time that they replied back, then I think I would need to dig back in and figure out how to actually check in Dropbox.
Right.
Okay. I think that's exactly what I'll do. And that makes sense to do like next, because going back and forth with customer number 2, trying to smooth everything out, I'm getting some embarrassing things of like, hey, the whatever push you just did, like every page I'm going to is crashing. And I'm like, oh no. Yeah. So, but with this, like, you know, when I was coding this the first time when I was like 21, I was just trying to brute force through it of like, okay, I can hold in my head all the different things I need to check before I deploy this. And I have much more humility now. Like, there's no way. Like, I need to make this automated or it's just going to break again.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of continuous integration frameworks too that you could look at. I don't know any that do. You might be able to hook in like Selenium testing for different browsers, but at least making sure the pages render and that stuff like that happens.
To my credit, it wasn't just crashing on every page. It was like a weird case of like after you had uploaded a file and then click submit and then try to hit back.
Okay.
Then any page you went to wouldn't work.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's fixed now, and doing something like Selenium, especially testing across browsers, that would be nice. And if it was continuous integration, if I could keep the flow I have right now of like I just push to Git, and then it happens, that'd be really nice. So that's the goal. I really want to invest in like the infrastructure and just make this as easy and foolproof as possible, and continue with this test-driven development stuff.
Cool.
And
I like that you're doing it by onboarding customers too, because
thank you.
Now you are fixing bugs that actual customers have using your actual thing.
Yeah,
so that's good. Yeah, good.
And the question you asked several podcasts ago has still just been rattling around in my head of like, is this better than the current Fileinbox yet?
Yeah.
And that's been my guiding light through this of like, all right, for this customer, yes, it is, because this customer like is doing a large volume of files where he's very frequently running into this error of like the Dropbox lock not letting all the files through all at once. So for him, hopefully once I iron out these things of like the page crashing, the new version is better than the old version. Like those files will much more reliably go through. And he also wanted the form data included in the notification emails. So that's like right off the bat, I like wrote them to his specification of exactly what he wanted.
Right.
So that was something I think he was really happy with. And then I think I just go, I have like 3 or 4 other customers like that in the docket. One of them wants a Zapier.
Yeah.
Is it Zapier or Zapier?
I've heard both, so I don't know.
Okay. I just saw a tweet that had a correct version of it that I think it rhymed with happier, which would be Zapier. I think it's Zapier.
All right.
Because they're called Zaps. Yeah, Zapier.
Right.
So probably the next thing we need to do is a Zapier integration. And then that'll be the same thing back and forth with a customer. Like, try as hard as I can to make it bulletproof. And I'm sure the conversation with Zapier is going to be the same sort of thing that you went through with Slack. But then go back and forth with him of like ironing it out, make sure it's working in all the situations he needs it to work. And then the next step will be virus scanning probably, and like limiting the file extensions. And I feel like there's one more and I don't remember. But then after that, I feel like I've covered enough use cases to be bringing people on in bulk, like notify all the existing users that there's this new platform they can try that is better in all these different ways, and then go from there. What do you think of the plan?
Sounds like a good plan.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever the next user needs, do that. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Cool. And then it's guided by like actual people, and I'm not just going down my rabbit hole of like, I think this would be a cool feature. It's like, all right, this person's actually using it, and they're able to flesh it out in ways I wouldn't have thought of. Like, oh yeah, this should probably work in Firefox. That would be good. Yeah. This browser that has like 20% of the market or something.
Right.
Cool. Okay. That sounds good. And we get to start again on Monday after I've driven from Indiana back to Dallas.
That's right.
Yes.
Tuesday. Monday's Memorial Day.
Tuesday. Yes. On Monday we memorialize, and on Tuesday we mark it.
Or Labor Day.
Labor Day. On Monday we don't labor.
We don't labor.
We should labor on Labor Day, right?
I would normally be working on Labor Day, but I think we're probably gonna do family stuff. So yeah.
That's fair. This is the place to do family stuff. There's just like biking paths and cool family stuff to do, and it's it's making me want to build a family sooner. And I like it. You built a cool life.
Cool. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff about it. There's bad stuff too, but yeah, parts of Indiana are great.
I don't have my notes. This is like it's weird to do this in person.
It is.
I would usually have you just on the screen, and then I've got my notes right to the right of the next thing to talk about. I don't know what else to talk about.
Me either. I'm also like half nervous. I'm gonna hit end record, and it's gonna like kill our recording. So if you're hearing this, then it didn't happen.
I hope we don't have to re-record. Is that all we got?
That's all I got.
All right, cool. Let's go hang out with people some more.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next week on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.